piece of yapping, little bit of yapping, one piece of yapping, happy happy yapping.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Welcome. Today we are gonna be very mindful and very demure.
Yeah, very respectful.
We are toning it down.
We'll be talking about basically a beginner's guide to anime.
Yes, because it's already our fourth episode,
Yeah.
and we realized that maybe we've been yapping too much.
Yeah, maybe a lot of people don't know some of the things that we're
Exactly.
talking about. So we want to
We're gonna
Right.
educate you. Today we're
Yeah.
going back to school, guys. So before we give you like the one-on-one on anime,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk a bit of how we actually got into anime and what are our first animes.
yeah, a bit of our lore.
Like a bit of our lore, you know, like
Yeah.
a bit of like storytelling.
Maria, how did you get into anime?
Let's start with Maria.
Okay. Well, so maybe not many of you know, but we do have a bit of an age difference. So
What? We
my
couldn't tell.
are
Joking.
you calling me old?
No.
Do I look old?
No.
No, but my animes are gonna be very different than yours probably. But my first anime that kind of got me into the anime world was Bleach, and that was because of my brother. But yeah, Bleach was the first one, and then afterwards I got into Naruto. Then I watched Fairy Tail.
I also got into anime because of my brother. He's very much anime watcher, and he got me into it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like my first anime knowing I was watching anime, it was Seven Deadly Sins.
That's a very
Very
one.
weird anime to
And
start watching.
I actually did ask
Did you
my
get
brother.
into it like with that?
I actually asked my brother like why was that like the first one, and he was like I was just watching that at the time and was like just watch it with me. But before knowing it was anime when I was young, they would pass them on TV, so I watched
He
things.
showed like Seven Deadly Sins.
No,
on
not
TV?
Seven Deadly Sins.
Okay.
The other ones, for example, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Pokemon, Bakugan,
Yeah.
all Dragon Ball Z, all those other
Yeah.
animes that like Doraemon. I watched when I was young on
Yeah.
TV, and I didn't know it was anime.
For me, it was exactly the same. Like, I also had my brother, and he was also watching anime. But at first, I was a bit of a hater. I was like, why are you watching that? Because he was watching it in Japanese, and I was like, that sounds weird.
Japanese.
You know?
He was yapping.
Yeah.
Japanese.
He was yapping
He was
in
yapping in
Japanese.
Japanese.
Like, I would speak Japanese, basically.
Japanese.
Yeah, but he was watching anime, and I was like, I don't know about this one. But then he started watching Sword Art Online, and I don't know why the premise, like, really intrigued me. It was like, you know, like, these people get into this game, and they cannot escape. Like, the premise of Sword Art Online is really good.
It
So
was
that...
very good.
Yeah.
I remember.
And now I want to talk about what animes we think that will be good to like recommend to your friends
Yeah, so
if you want to start
Or like
anime.
if you want to start into anime, like get into anime,
Yeah.
but you don't know where to start, because like I can imagine it's very overwhelming when you see like 600 plus
Yeah.
episodes
Yeah.
for One Piece.
because like to get started into anime, there are a few that we have like thought about
Yeah.
that could like really help. And
Yeah.
also because I have friends that never watched anime, and I know that they watched, for example, Demon Slayer, and they really got into it.
I think it's really easy because of the animation. It's
It
really
has
good.
a very good animation.
Like very visual, like with the colors and everything.
And I think the story is
And
good.
the story is like very simple but good, you know? It's like
And if you
there's
wanna
demons, there's demon slayers.
if you wanna know who Maria is simping about, just watch Demon Slayer.
Exactly, like exactly, and then you will
Exactly.
be on my side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if you wanna know the other person I'm simping over, you should watch Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah. So Demon Slayer is the first one.
I would say Demon Slayer, especially for animation. If you want a very beautiful
It's
animation,
very beautiful.
colorful, Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
It's for you.
Second one, I was thinking of movies, like if you want like a more chill thing that's like very short,
Yeah.
then I would say Studio Ghibli's are really good. It's like very
Yeah.
chill vibes, aesthetics, you know. Like House Moving
And
Castle.
and the stories are very nice as
Yeah,
well.
like for example, My Neighbor Totoro. I think that's a
Yeah.
really
That's
good
a
one
very
to
nice
start.
one.
Okay, so another anime that I think is really good is Death Note. What do you guys think?
So I haven't watched Death Note in a while, but I think it was a bit like a lot of voice over, so they don't really
I
speak. I think
mean,
it's a lot of thoughts.
Aren't they like crazy? They're like, oh my god,
Yeah,
I'm gonna kill all
you
of
like
these
really
people."
see a lot of what's going on in their minds. But I do want to like because we are now saying a lot of animes and everything, but if you haven't watched anime at all and it's your first time, you will encounter a lot of like terms
for sure.
and like for
and
example Maria
concepts.
mentioned one like ova.
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like people
yeah.
wouldn't even know that. So let's like we wanted to give you
Yeah.
some like information on some terms you might encounter watching anime
So pull out your notebooks
and take notes.
take notes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted also because we mentioned OVA.
Yeah.
OVA basically stands for like original animation,
Yeah.
and there are some like
Yeah.
extra episodes they make aside from like the main
Yeah.
story. Sometimes they follow the main story, sometimes they don't, but
Yeah.
it's always very interesting to see. So yeah,
It
that's
just adds more lore
Yeah.
to the story.
and that's an OVA.
Yeah. Then I will start maybe with genres that there's in anime. For example, shonen, which is like anime for like teenage boys, basically.
Yeah.
So like more action wise, battles kind of thing.
But there's also the equivalent that is targeted for girls, and that's
Shoujo.
shoujo.
Yeah.
And those are basically romantic stories that are targeted for females, and it's just like romance and a bit more
Yeah.
like happy. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more lighthearted.
Laid back.
Lighthearted, yeah.
Lighthearted, yeah.
Yeah.
those are very common.
Then we also have isekai.
Isekai.
Yeah, I love isekai. That's like my guilty pleasure. A lot of people hate it.
Isekai is just like when you get transported
Transported
into
Alternative.
an alternative
Yeah, a
world.
lot of reincarnations. There's so many weird ones.
Then we have Slice of Life, and we
Yeah.
mentioned it a couple
Yeah.
of times with
Spy X Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just basically shows like the everyday life of
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
it
more
doesn't have like a big plot. There's not like a goal. It's just like the life of
Yeah.
the character.
It's like
Yeah.
more like real life. You will relate more. I think Your Name is a slice of life.
Yeah.
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 Like it's more of like. Wait, nah. Actually, no.
No,
I wouldn't
no.
consider.
Talking more of like the animation because we see their day to day life.
Yeah.
But yeah,
The actual story, it's
Yeah,
not
take
like
it out,
Slice
take
of
it out.
Life. So.
I-
And then we also have the waifu and the husband.
Ah, yeah, waifu,
which is kind
husband.
of-
so like. We
There's some
us-
weird terms, but
yeah, I think
Yeah.
now a lot of people use like, oh, I simp for this character.
yeah.
But like there's before or like sometimes people still use it. There's like the, oh, she's my waifu or he's my husbando, and it's
I
just
think it's
like,
pretty easy to understand.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a character you like,
Wife,
a character you
husband.
simp for, your crush, and then yeah, you have the
What are you pointing at?
Coño.
Husbando.
Husband. I don't like the word though. It's cringy.
yeah.
No,
So
it's
yeah, we simp for characters, husbando, waifu, but we've given like a lot of like terms.
Yeah, but we're gonna get a bit of tips.
We want to
Yeah.
give you tips so you can like
what do I do? You know, type of thing.
We
What
have-
should I be aware of?
because yeah, getting into anime might be like a bit complicated. So
Especially with spoilers.
like I'm telling you, with anime, don't search an anime you haven't
Yes,
seen.
delete
Yeah.
social media. Like
please,
basically.
like if you have TikTok and you want to search a tag,
No.
like don't do it.
Don't
like
do
if
it.
you have it,
No,
don't
please.
spoil
Even
yourself.
Pinterest. I've gotten spoilers on Pinterest,
Yeah.
on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever you
Everywhere.
have.
There's
you get
not a
spoilers.
safe space there.
So
Yeah.
I will like if you're starting to get into anime and there's an anime you haven't watched, maybe search the name. You can search maybe the name to see what it is, like the synopsis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But don't search more.
No.
And never search an anime like character's name.
No, in
No.
Google, never.
Because you'll
they
get
will
some-
die.
You will
You just
spoil yourself.
first thing you'll see death.
I want
I
to
was
speak
like,
about
shit.
manga readers, especially Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
They have no filter.
They really have spoiled. Like I know so many spoilers of Jujutsu Kaisen, and it's all manga readers.
Yeah.
Like
Like,
manga.
sometimes I do spoil.
You spoil people?
No, not
Maria?
intentionally. Not intentionally.
Maria.
Not
Maria.
intentionally.
Yeah, we are fit.
Okay, confession time.
So yeah.
No, confession time. So I do it unintentionally, like because we were talking about, like for example, like I'm talking about Jujutsu Kaisen, and then like I'm talking with someone who only watched the anime, and I'm like, oh,
Like,
no, what's gonna happen? And I'm
No.
like, and I try not to like spoil, and then accidentally I'll just say
no.
something, and they'll be like,
Wait, what?
what? And I'm like,
Another tip we have is to not judge an anime by the fandom.
Yeah, please.
Because I've seen it a lot. For example,
Yeah,
with
My Hero
Academia.
Academia is like a really
People
famous one.
will like judge the anime by like their fans, but honestly, you can make those two
Yeah, because
different
there's
things.
really weird fans, and they then gives like a bad connotation to them.
Yeah, just ignore them. You don't even need to be part of the fandom to enjoy it. Just like focus on the anime for the plot, the
Focus for the
characters.
content,
But, like
bro.
you don't even need to interact with them or
Exactly,
like
that's the
associate
thing.
yourself with them. Just like watch the anime or the show because
Yeah.
of what it's about.
Exactly.
Because if sometimes people like lose really good stories just because they think the fandom
Yeah.
or the fans are weird.
It's stereotypes.
So yeah, I think just
Don't judge
watch.
a book by its cover.
Damn,
Period.
inspirational. So yeah, I
Period.
think just watch the anime for the plot,
Exactly.
and I think that's like
Do it for the plot.
Also,
Sorry.
another tip we have is like if you're like getting your friend into anime or if you're like someone that doesn't
Warn
want to
them.
know more about anime, just warn them about fan service
Yeah.
because
And
it
tell
can
them to ignore it.
cut people off guard if they're
Yeah.
watching something and suddenly there's a lot of fan service because that's very common in anime.
Also, fan service I think is a word that maybe people don't know. It's
Yeah,
like when they
fan service
show-
is just things that are not really necessary for the plot, but they just show it for
Yeah,
the
like-
viewers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like
Male
big
viewers
boobs
mostly.
Yeah,
and,
it's
you know,
especially
like,
more for, like-
specific type of like yeah.
Yeah.
Low angles.
Low angles.
They will show underwear or something,
And it's very targeted towards
The
the male
male.
viewers. Yeah.
so that happens a lot, and it's like it doesn't do anything for the plot, but it's
yeah,
there.
It's just for there.
So
yeah.
if you're like suggesting anime to someone, just be like, okay, there might be this,
yeah.
But focus on the story.
but then again, don't judge like the anime for
Yeah.
that.
Flashback.
Don't
Just
judge
watch-
a book by its cover.
And I think
Right.
like one last tip I would give, and it's also because of all the animes we mentioned, is that if you're really a beginner, it can be overwhelming because we
For
said
sure.
so many names of so many animes: Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Bakugan, Ball Z, even Deadly Sins, Demon Slayer. So it's like
Yeah.
if you don't know where to start with the popular ones because they're popular for a reason.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then you can also like search for the underrated ones, but
Yeah.
like start with the
I was-
populars and
yeah.
see what you like.
Exactly. And once you know what you like I like action, I like romance, I like this, I like that. Then you start searching for the ones that you really want,
Sure.
and that's when you'll start like getting in the
Like the genres we mentioned, like
Yeah.
isekai and shoujo and
yeah, search
shonen.
popular anime.
Search popular of those and then see them
Mm-hmm.
and see, okay, I like this style, and then you can search that same like genre and you can get so many hidden gems.
Well, yeah, this was the episode. I hope we helped. I hope we gave you
An
a
idea.
lot more
Yeah.
information and idea of what anime is. And now, when you watch our next episodes and when you go and
You will-
watch anime,
Yeah.
you will know a lot more.
Yeah, of
Of
course
course,
there's
same.
so many things we didn't say,
Yeah,
but
this is a
this is like the beginners
Yeah.
anime 101.
Yeah.
So you can
Yeah.
get an idea, and if you want,
more. Do tell us.
let us know and we'll further explain.
Yeah.
Thank
But
you.
yeah,
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks
We'll
so much for
see you.
joining, and we'll see
you
you
next
time.
Bye bye.
One piece of yapping, little bit of yapping. One piece of yapping, happy, happy, yapping.